Every morning is a new beginning, a blank page of your life waiting to be written. How you speak to yourself in those first few moments after waking up sets the tone for your entire day. Most people rush into the chaos of life without pausing to program their minds. But if you can pause for just a few minutes each morning to speak power into your own heart, you can transform your energy, your focus, and your destiny. Every morning, stand still for a moment. Breathe deeply. Look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself of 3 powerful truths. I am capable. I am worthy. I am becoming. These words might sound simple, but their power is extraordinary. When you tell yourself, I am capable, you silence the voice of doubt. You awaken the belief that you have the ability to handle anything that comes your way. When you say, I am worthy, you honor your value, reminding yourself that you deserve love, success, happiness, and peace, not because you must earn them, because your existence already makes you worthy. And when you declare, I am becoming, you embrace growth. You no longer judge yourself for where you are now, because you know you are on a journey toward greatness. Say these 3 things every single morning. Say them with conviction. Say them until your heart believes them. Because how you speak to yourself becomes how you live your life. Begin your day with power, and your day will unfold with purpose. Remember, your mornings shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your future. Every single morning is like standing in front of a fresh, untouched field, and the words you speak to yourself are the seeds you drop into that soil. Think about it. Before the world gets loud, before the messages, deadlines, the noise, and the negativity start flooding in, your mind is quiet and open. It's like rich, fertile earth waiting for you to plant something. If you don't choose what to plant, weeds of worry, fear, and doubt will start to grow on their own. This is why your morning self-talk is incredibly powerful. First few thoughts you speak or think are like the blueprint for how you will respond to everything that comes after. If you wake up and immediately tell yourself, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm not good enough, today is going to be hard, you are programming your mind to look for stress, failure, and exhaustion. But if instead you pause, breathe, and say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am becoming, you send a completely different signal to your brain. You are telling it to look for opportunities, not obstacles. You are telling it to notice blessings, not burdens. Words are not just sounds. They carry energy and shape your focus. Neuroscience shows that the brain filters reality through what you repeatedly tell it. This means the voice you hear most, your own voice, has the greatest power to shape your emotions, decisions, and actions. So, when you speak powerful, uplifting words first thing in the morning, you're essentially deciding the emotional tone of your entire day. Imagine how a farmer plants with intention, choosing seeds that will grow into healthy crops. That's exactly how you should plant words in your mind each morning. Don't plant words of fear, regret, or limitation. Plant words of power, purpose, and growth. With time, those words will grow into habits, those habits will grow into character, and that character will grow into destiny. Every day, you get to choose what kind of mental garden you want to tend. The question is, will you fill it with weeds of doubt or flowers of belief? The answer begins the moment you wake up. So make those first words count, because they are the seeds from which your day will grow. When you wake up and declare, I am capable, you are doing far more than just saying words. You are building the foundation of your confidence, brick by brick, thought by thought. This affirmation is a shield against self-doubt and a spark that ignites your inner strength. It is a simple sentence, yet it carries the power to transform how you approach every task, every challenge, and every obstacle in your day. Most of the time, people underestimate themselves. They look at their past mistakes or the size of the mountain ahead and whisper silently, "I can't." And that tiny whisper becomes a roaring echo in their minds throughout the day. But the moment you look in the mirror and firmly say, "I am capable," you are silencing that destructive echo. You are training your mind to see problems not as barriers, but as puzzles waiting to be solved. You are shifting your identity from someone who doubts to someone who believes. Confidence isn't something that magically appears when you achieve something, running through the park. True confidence is built when you choose to believe in yourself before you see the results. By affirming your capability each morning, you are telling your subconscious, "No matter what comes, I have what it takes to handle it." This belief changes how you walk, how you speak, how you think, and how you act. It's like flipping a switch inside you from hesitation to determination, from fear to focus. "I am capable" also awakens your resourcefulness. It reminds you of all the skills, lessons, and strengths you have gathered through years of life experience. It tells your mind, "I've faced storms before, and I made it through. I've been tired before, and I kept going. I've been unsure before, and I figured it out." This memory of past victories fuels your courage to face new challenges. Moreover, this affirmation breaks the habit of comparison. Instead of looking at others and thinking, "They are smarter, stronger, better," you anchor yourself in the truth that you are enough and equipped in your own way. You don't need to be perfect or know everything to be capable. You only need to trust that you can grow, learn, adapt, and overcome. Mindset is what leads to mastery. Every time you repeat, "I am capable," you're not just motivating yourself, you are reprogramming the neural pathways in your brain. Over time, belief becomes automatic. You stop hesitating when opportunities appear. You stop shrinking when difficulties arise. You stop doubting when you stand in front of something new. Instead, you step forward boldly because your inner voice reminds you, "I can handle this." So speak it. Say it out loud every morning. Whisper it when you are nervous and shout it when you are brave. "I am capable" is not just an affirmation. It is a decision to walk into your day with courage, resilience, and unshakable self-belief. The world doesn't shape you. Your belief in your own capability does. And once you truly believe you are capable, nothing can stand in your way. When you rise each morning and speak the words, "I am worthy," you are reclaiming something that the world often tries to make you forget: your inherent value. In a world that constantly measures people by their achievements, appearance, status, or possessions, this simple phrase is an act of courage. It is a declaration that you do not have to earn your worth. You already possess it by the mere fact that you exist. And when you speak it daily, you water the roots of self-love that will nourish you through every storm. So many people wake up carrying invisible weights: the fear of not being enough, the regret of past mistakes, the pressure to prove their value to everyone around them. They scroll through social media, comparing their lives to highlight reels, convincing themselves they are behind or unworthy of happiness, love, or success. This mindset poisons their mornings and cripples their motivation. But when you pause in the quiet of your morning and affirm, "I am worthy," you break that cycle. You remind yourself that your value is not determined by other people's opinions, by yesterday's failures, or by tomorrow's achievements. Worthiness is your birthright. You were born valuable. You don't have to achieve more, look a certain way, or reach a certain level to deserve love, peace, or joy. Running yourself "I am worthy" is like giving your soul permission to breathe. It frees you from the endless chase of trying to prove yourself, of asking, "Am I enough?" You begin your day rooted in the truth: "I am already enough." This affirmation also builds emotional resilience. Life will throw criticism, rejection, and disappointment at you. People may misunderstand you or overlook your efforts. But when you've anchored your worth internally, none of that can shake you. You begin to see rejection not as proof of your inadequacy, but as redirection towards something better. You stop needing constant validation from others because you validate yourself. That is real freedom. And here's the beautiful thing. When you affirm your own worthiness, you begin to treat yourself with more kindness. You make choices that reflect self-respect. You stop tolerating what disrespects your peace. You start setting boundaries not out of anger, but out of love for yourself. You rest when you need rest. You speak kindly to yourself. And you pursue goals not to earn your worth, to express the greatness already inside you. Speaking, I am worthy, each morning also transforms how you treat others. When you truly believe in your own worth, you stop seeing life as a competition. You no longer feel threatened by others' success. Instead, running through the park, you can celebrate it because their light doesn't dim yours. You realize there's room for everyone to shine. Your self-love overflows into compassion and support for those around you. And perhaps the most profound effect of this affirmation is how it heals your relationship with your past. Many people carry guilt, shame, or regret that whispers, "You don't deserve happiness." But every morning you say, "I am worthy," you are forgiving yourself, releasing the weight of old mistakes, and choosing to see yourself not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. So, stand tall each morning. Place your hand over your heart and say it with conviction. I am worthy. Say it even if your voice shakes. Say it especially when your mind tries to argue against it. Because the more you repeat it, the more your heart will believe it. And when you start living like you are worthy, your entire life begins to change. You attract better relationships, make braver choices, and walk through your day with a quiet, unshakable power. Never forget this. Your worth is not up for debate. It is your foundation. And when you build your life on the foundation of knowing you are worthy, no storm can destroy you. When you wake up and declare the words, I am becoming, you are choosing to honor the journey you are on, rather than judging yourself only by where you stand today. This affirmation carries a quiet but extraordinary power because it shifts your identity from someone who must already have it all together into someone who is courageously evolving every single day. It gives you permission to be unfinished, to be learning, to be in progress, and that is where real growth lives. Most people wake up every morning haunted by comparison. They see others who seem more successful, more confident, more beautiful, more ahead, and they immediately feel like they are falling behind. This thinking crushes their motivation before the day even begins. When you look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am becoming, you break free from that toxic race. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You remember that growth takes time, and your timeline is your own. Saying, I am becoming, is an act of self-compassion. It allows you to look at your flaws, your struggles, and your past mistakes without shame. Instead of seeing them as proof that you are failing, you see them as evidence that you are still growing, still stretching, still transforming. Growth is rarely glamorous. It is messy, slow, and filled with stumbles. But those stumbles are not signs of weakness. Running through the park, they are signs that you are moving. You cannot become something greater without walking through the uncomfortable process of change. This affirmation also relieves the pressure of perfection. So many people paralyze themselves by believing they must already be perfect before they can take action. They think they must be fully confident before they speak, fully ready before they begin, fully certain before they move. I am becoming reminds you that you do not need to be perfect to make progress. You only need to take the next small step. And with every step, you grow stronger, wiser, and closer to who you are meant to be. I am becoming. Also fuels patience and persistence. Growth is invisible at first. Like a seed hidden in the soil, you may not see the results of your efforts right away. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. This affirmation reminds you that even if progress feels slow, it is still progress. It tells you, keep going. Something beautiful is unfolding within you, even if you can't see it yet. And one day, just like that hidden seed breaking through the earth, the results of your daily growth will suddenly bloom for the world to see. When you affirm, I am becoming, you also release the burden of your past. Too often, people carry their old identities like heavy chains, believing they are forever defined by their mistakes. But this simple phrase declares, I am not who I was yesterday. I am becoming someone new today. It transforms your past from a prison into a teacher, showing you that everything you've been through is shaping who you are meant to become. Most importantly, I am becoming fills your heart with hope. It opens your eyes to possibility. It makes you excited about the future rather than fearful of it. Because if you are becoming, then tomorrow can be brighter than today, and next year can be greater than this year. Every morning you speak it, you are reminding yourself that your best chapters have not yet been written. So stand before your reflection each morning, look into your own eyes, and say it with unshakable belief, I am becoming. Say it when you feel strong, and say it when you feel broken. Say it when you're certain, and especially when you are unsure. Because the moment you embrace the identity of someone who is becoming, you free yourself from fear of failure, you become unstoppable. Remember this truth, you are not behind. You are not stuck. You are becoming, and that journey is where your greatness is being built. When you choose to speak positive affirmations to yourself each morning, you are not just saying pretty words. You are actively training your mind to see the world through a new lens. Think of your mind like a muscle. It strengthens in the direction you consistently use it. Just as physical exercise shapes your body, mental exercise shapes your thoughts, beliefs, and ultimately, your life. Morning is the most powerful time to do this mental training because your mind is like soft clay in those first moments of the day ready to be molded. Right after waking, your brain is still in a relaxed theta state, a deeply receptive mental state where your subconscious mind is wide open. This is the exact same state where children naturally learn quickly and absorb ideas effortlessly. When you speak affirmations during this time, you are not just motivating yourself temporarily. You are planting new beliefs directly into the soil of your subconscious. And because your subconscious drives over 90% of your decisions and behaviors, this practice slowly reshapes how you think, feel, act without you even realizing it. Most people don't realize that the thoughts they think are not neutral. They are programming their future. If you begin your morning by checking your phone, comparing yourself to others, and telling yourself, I'm behind, I'm not enough, today will be stressful. You are handing your mindset over to negativity before your feet even touch the floor. Negative programming will quietly run in the background of your mind all day, influencing your emotions, choices, actions like a hidden script. But when you consciously take control and speak powerful affirmations such as, I am capable, I am worthy, I am becoming, you override that negative script. You tell your mind what to focus on. You install new mental software that runs in the background all day, gently guiding you towards strength, clarity, and optimism. And over time, it becomes your automatic default way of thinking. No longer forced, but natural. Morning affirmations are like mental warm-ups before the game of life begins. Just as athletes stretch to prevent injury and perform better, affirmations stretch your thoughts into alignment before stress, criticism, and chaos hit you. They center you. They align your emotions with your intentions so that you walk through the day grounded, not shaken by every problem or person you encounter. What's truly powerful is how repetition builds momentum. At first, these affirmations might feel awkward or forced, especially if your inner critic is loud. But the mind learns through consistency. The more you speak these truths each morning, the more your brain begins to accept them as reality. Neural pathways actually rewire, forming stronger connections around these positive beliefs. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," your automatic thought becomes, "I can handle this." Instead of, "I'm not enough," it becomes, "I am worthy of success." That is the transformation of mindset. And it begins in the quiet of your morning. This daily practice also strengthens your ability to direct your focus. Life will always be full of distractions and noise. Affirmations act like a compass, reminding your mind where to point, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. They help you respond to life from a place of calm intention rather than reactive emotion. Running through the park. This ability to choose your thoughts rather than be controlled by them is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, and morning affirmations are the training ground for it. Run through the park. So understand this: your mindset is not something that just happens to you. It is something you can train, shape, and master. And each morning is your gym. Each affirmation is a repetition that strengthens your inner world. The more you train your mind with empowering words at the start of the day, the stronger, calmer, and more confident you become throughout the rest of it. So stand tall each morning and speak with intention. Because when you win the battle in your mind before the day begins, the rest of the day cannot defeat you. That is the power of training your mindset with morning affirmations. You stop being at the mercy of life and start becoming the master of it. One of the greatest truths about personal growth is this: lasting transformation is born from consistency, not intensity. Most people want their lives to change overnight. They look for a single big moment, a magical breakthrough, a sudden surge of motivation that will permanently change everything. But real and permanent change rarely comes from one grand leap. It comes from small, steady steps taken every single day. And when it comes to affirmations, this truth is vital. Because saying something powerful once can inspire you for a moment, but saying it every morning can transform who you believe you are. Consistency is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. Each morning when you stand in front of the mirror and speak words like, "I am capable," "I am worthy," "I am becoming," you are laying one more brick on that bridge. It might feel small, it might feel like nothing is happening. But brick by brick, day by day, those words begin to reshape your mindset, your habits, and your identity from the inside out. Power of consistency lies in the way it rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows that repeated thoughts carve new neural pathways, just like water slowly carves canyons through solid rock. At first, your affirmations might feel awkward, like trying to walk through tall, tangled weeds. But the more often you walk that mental path, clearer and stronger it becomes. Eventually, it becomes your natural route, your mind's automatic way of thinking. That is when transformation becomes permanent, when positive self-belief is no longer something you try to do, but simply who you are. The truth is, motivation fades, but habits remain. There will be mornings when you don't feel like saying your affirmations. There will be days when your mind argues back, when your old doubts and fears try to return. Those are the most crucial days to stay consistent, because pushing through resistance is how you break through to a new level of self-belief. Every time you show up despite resistance, you are proving to yourself that you are committed, and commitment builds character. Think of it like watering a seed. You don't plant a seed and then scream at it to grow overnight. You water it every day, even when nothing seems to be happening. You trust that something invisible is happening beneath the surface. Your daily affirmations are like that water. They may not produce visible change right away, but they are feeding something powerful beneath the surface of your mind. One day, seemingly out of nowhere, you will look up and realize you think differently, speak differently, walk differently. That's not luck or magic. That's the quiet miracle of consistency. Consistency also builds momentum, and momentum makes change easier. At first, repeating affirmations takes effort, but as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, it becomes automatic. Part of your morning rhythm, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. You no longer have to push yourself, it becomes who you are. And when something becomes part of who you are, it becomes effortless to maintain. Most importantly, consistency creates trust within yourself. Every morning you show up for your affirmations, you are sending your subconscious a message. I can trust myself to do what I say I will do. That trust is the foundation of confidence. When you trust yourself, running through the park, you stop waiting for external validation or motivation. You start moving forward because you know you can rely on your own discipline. Inner trust is what allows transformation to last a lifetime. So remember, this greatness is not built in a moment of inspiration. It is built in the quiet repetition of daily discipline. Every time you speak those empowering words to yourself each morning, you are chiseling away at old doubts and sculpting a new version of yourself. You might not see the changes at first, but one day, others will see it in your strength, your peace, your presence. Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns affirmations from empty words into living truths. And when you choose consistency, transformation is no longer a distant dream. It becomes an inevitable reality. Every single day of your life begins with a morning, and the way you spend those first sacred moments is like striking the tuning fork that sets the tone for your entire day. Most people underestimate just how powerful their mornings are. They think a day is shaped by circumstances, by luck, by what happens around them. The truth is, your day is shaped first and foremost by the emotional state you choose at the very beginning of it. And when you consistently start your mornings with positivity, you don't just create a good day. You build the foundation for a good life. Your morning is the steering wheel of your destiny. It's the first decision point, the first moment when you can choose to be intentional instead of reactive. If you wake up and immediately dive into chaos, scrolling through news feeds, answering stressful messages, pairing your life to others, you hand over your mood, your mindset, and your peace to forces outside your control. You spend the rest of the day trying to recover from that negativity. But when you rise, pause, and fill your mind with powerful, uplifting thoughts like, I am capable, I am worthy, I am becoming, you take back control. You anchor yourself in calm, focus, and gratitude. And that energy flows into every action and interaction that follows. A positive morning creates momentum, and momentum is everything. Think of a train. It takes a lot of energy to start moving, but once it builds momentum, it glides with ease. Your mind works the same way. Running through the park, a positive morning pushes your thoughts into motion in the right direction, and once they're moving, they carry you through the day with far less effort. Even when challenges come, you meet them with resilience because your emotional state was built on strength from the start. Starting your day positively also reshapes how you perceive reality. Psychology shows that your brain works like a filter, highlighting information that matches your current emotional state. If you begin your day stressed or angry, your mind will focus on what's wrong, making problems seem bigger and opportunities invisible. But if you begin your day feeling hopeful and empowered, your mind will naturally look for solutions, blessings, and reasons to keep going. A positive morning literally rewires how you experience your world. Over time, these positive mornings compound like interest. One positive day might feel small, dozens and hundreds of positive days stack up into new habits, new beliefs, and a new identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who takes charge of their mindset, someone who lives with purpose instead of reacting to life by default. This identity shift is the key to lasting transformation, because you no longer have to push yourself to be positive. It becomes who you are. And here's the most beautiful part. When you create positive mornings for yourself, you don't just change your own life. You quietly change the lives of everyone around you. When you walk out into the world calm, centered, filled with gratitude, people feel that energy. Your smile lifts others. Your optimism inspires them. Your patience diffuses tension. Your light becomes contagious. A positive morning doesn't just make your day better, it makes the world around you brighter. Even on hard days, when everything seems heavy, your morning routine can be your sanctuary, your safe place where you reconnect with your power before facing the world. It reminds you that you are not at the mercy of circumstances, you are the architect of your emotions. And if you can choose positivity in the quiet of the morning, you can carry that strength into the storms of the day. So understand this truth: a positive life is not something you stumble into. It's something you build morning by morning. The way you begin your day writes the story of how you will live it. If you want more joy, more peace, more success, more love, all begins with how you greet yourself at sunrise. Wake up with intention. Speak words of power. Fill your mind with gratitude. Guard those first moments like they are sacred, because they are. A positive morning is not just a routine. It is a daily rebirth, a fresh chance to become who you were meant to be. And when you string enough of those mornings together, you don't just create better days. You create a better life. As we come to the end of this journey, remember this: every morning is a sacred doorway, a threshold between who you were yesterday and who you choose to become today. The words you whisper to yourself in those quiet, delicate moments after you wake are not just affirmations. They are declarations of identity, blueprints for your destiny, and silent promises to your future self. Life will always bring storms, distractions, and doubt, but your morning self-talk is your anchor. When you rise each day and speak words of power, belief, and love to yourself, you are not just preparing for the day. You are transforming your mind, rewiring your heart, and setting your soul on fire. You are teaching yourself to rise, even when the world expects you to fall. So, tomorrow morning, and every morning after that, pause before the world speaks to you. Look in the mirror and speak life into your reflection. Tell yourself who you are becoming, what you are capable of, and why you are worthy of it all. Because the way you speak to yourself each morning is the way you will live your life. Wake up with purpose. Speak with conviction. Walk into the world with courage. Because you are the author of your day, and your words are the ink that writes your future.